What up, Mark? How you doing, man? What
So,
you doing, my nigga? How you doing? Hey, you tell you what, I'm gonna set up the camera. I'm gonna put on the shirt today.
He's gonna wear a shirt today. Yeah, he usually does this naked with both hangling out. And
Yeah, I do. I'm just sitting here in my chair, balls hanging out.
scratchy, scratchy, scratchy. I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I got a
Smelling,
little fan here just to keep me cool and fresh.
smelling your fingers afterwards. I don't know, man. Something nasty like that. Yeah, yeah.
I love doing that. Yeah, I love doing that.
Scratchy, scratchy, scratchy. Smell, smell, smell. Something like that.
No, and I'll tell you something. If you are going out with a girl and you're with her, you are with her. I mean, you're fucking her, and you don't wash afterwards. You won't get chancro or anything, but you'll start smelling like her privates, and that's kind of sexy.
Wakala.
True story.
Wakala.
True story.
Wakala. That's gonna be the name of
Okay.
this episode. It's gonna be called Wakala, and then slowly in parentheses, it's gonna be the one in English, it's because we're talking in English right now. But I'm gonna write that down. I lost my pen. I don't know where it is. And I'll use my Sharpie.
What up, Mark? How you doing, man? So how was the show last night? Was it that good?
Oh my, it was awesome, dude. It's like I come back harder than last night every time, dude. It's been building up. This was probably like my 5th or 6th show I've been doing there with David Kowal, and every time we just keep leveling. We're just stacking our wins, man. I got this whole mountain of wins, and it's getting to the point where the way we do anything, we're just doing everything. And like we played last, like him and his sister played first, and then there was 2 alternative bands, and they were doing really good on the inside. But we set up the outside, and we started kicked off at midnight. And those people had no idea what I was gonna bring to the table. Dude, they're like, cause they just don't expect that energy. I hit them in the face, man. The holy fire, man.
Quick question, just because I'm not too sure here. I might have forgotten. What's your discipline in music? Like, what do you play?
What's my music?
Yeah, you're
I'm
a drummer.
Right now I play the guitar and I rock the microphone. So like
Okay.
I sing. I'm a vocalist. I had David Cabal playing the guitar, and he has his little setups. Yeah, like last time, when
Wait,
I
wait.
had Bundy on the drums and he was on the bass,
Wait.
I was on the guitar, so we
Wait,
kind of
this-
switch on and off.
You said that you're with David Cabal.
Yeah, well, I play with him.
Okay.
So David for M&A.
David Cabal. Mopri ahuevado. David Cabal, man.
He's cool, man.
I like
Buena
it.
gente, man.
No, he's cool. He's cool. Yeah. But it's funny to hear his name said like you said it, like David Cabal.
David
I'm like,
Cabal.
oh yeah, he sounds like
I'm a man. I sound very American. Yeah, no, David Cabal.
obvio.
David Cabal. That's it.
Yeah, man.
That's me
But
being
it's
a
just
snobby
true.
music, but cool. Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing you perform. Like I think the last time I saw you perform something, it was when we used to work with
Epidemic.
With
Way
that
back
guy.
then. Yeah, man.
and you grabbed his
Yeah.
bass and started playing. And I'm like, oh, this guy plays too. I'm like, all of us plays here, and I didn't play for shit. And I was like, dun, 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 that's it. And you and it, you started jamming. I'm like, these guys can play. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. I didn't know this guy
Yeah.
sang. Guille sang. He has a good vocalist as well.
Oh my, yeah, dude, like when we first met, like that was one of the things we had in common, and he actually had, remember, back in the day, you and your brother had that band?
Yeah,
And
man.
You guys were doing the punk covers, something sticking in my eye, that was so cool. I miss those days, man.
Yeah,
Those days
me
were
too,
awesome.
man. Me too, man. We used to play, what's that, Unplugged. We used to play a couple of clubs over there at ¿cómo se llama? Calle Uruguay. It was fun.
Yeah.
Fun. We had a couple of beers, had a couple of smokes, and sing and just rock it out and have fun, man. Good old days, man.
Yeah, man.
And
How's
here,
your brother doing? Everything's good there?
Yeah, man. He has a kid now. The kid's about 10 years old, and he's still working the company. Plug here. Remember, guys, I have a landscaping company. If you need somebody to do your lawn, do your garden, clear out whatever, just give us a call.
I'm a
We're
client.
working. Yeah, we're working. We're
Yeah,
just
I-
trying to survive, man. You know how it is.
adding to that disclaimer, I'm a client, and the guy does amazing
Yeah, man,
work.
trading time dollars.
Yeah. And here I was just thinking that Guille was like the guy who ran the comic book shop out of the backyard of his house. That's how I met him. Like, so many
Yeah,
years
back in
ago.
the day, like 25 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we will run
Yeah.
way back. And so, how you been, sir? welcome to our humble podcast where we just talk the shit and we just talk bullshit all day long.
Yeah, man.
Nice. Fantastic. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really hope that maybe I can add some value and share my energy. And, we can really have a meaningful conversation. I think that would be great.
If you want to have a meaningful conversation, this is not the place. Here we talk shit. That's all we do. We just talk shit.
No, that's fine, man. That's fine. That is awesome. Yeah, definitely everybody. But yeah, man. So go ahead.
Our plan with the podcast is just to get a window, a chance where we can go and talk shit and smack, vent out and whatever. I mean, we don't monetize. We are explicit, so nobody will touch us even with a 10-foot pole. But we're having fun. We talk about whatever, and and the best shows are when we have guests. Yes, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad to be here, and yeah, man. Are we going? Is it already rolling?
We've been running for a while, man. So yeah, we're cool.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Again, I'm so glad. I'm glad you guys reached out, and I don't know, man. Lately, I've been on this whole since the pandemic ended, and I've been on this whole last 8 months. I was so back when January 2023 hit, I was weighing 255 pounds. I was so fat, I couldn't put on my shoes. Dude, I was just huge. I had so much anxiety. I was so depressed. You know what I mean? I would just, my relationship was, I was going down. And so I started beginning this trip of self-mastery. And so, little by little, I started having to change things. I realized that if life's a game, there's some rules. Rule number one, the way you do anything is the way you got to do everything. And so I had to start setting high standards. And rule number two is, don't whine, don't complain. Never negotiate with your inner bitch. And the thing is, I started doing more exercise. I started walking. From my house down the causeway. I got down, I had to call my wife, come pick me up, my feet hurt. I couldn't even make it back home.
Really?
And then little by little, I started walking more and walking more. Dude, I'm down to 175 pounds now. It's been 8 months. And I've been running. I wake up every morning. So one of my core values is to wake up at the same time every day. I got home last night 1 o'clock, so I had to wake up a little. I woke up today at 6, but normally I get up at 3:30 a.m. every day. And by 4 a.m., I'm over here at the Prado Road. I'm running, man. I get my 12,500 steps by 5:30. Make myself home. Once I get home, take a shower, get my kids up. Have them get ready for school. By 7 o'clock, I'm dropping them off and I'm back home. By 8 o'clock, I'm logging in. I spend my day lifting weights. I have I have my heavy bag. So So 4 to 5. After I'm done working at 4 o'clock noon, I start hitting the heavy bag and getting my cardio and ride my bike. But I've been really leaning into doing these hard things. I didn't want to run. I didn't want to exercise, but I needed it. I needed to lean into adversity. And so action relieves anxiety. Believe it or not, the best antidepressant is exercise. And once I started that ball rolling, my body started changing. I realized, hey man, I gotta go ahead and stop putting crap in my body. I gotta stop vaping. I gotta stop smoking weed, man. Having a drink every now and then. So I made a promise to myself to be more congruent to the man, the leader my family deserved. And this really helped change my life. And my energy level's gone up to here, man. And so it's getting to the point where I've never seen God's eyes, but I've seen the devil's, and the devil exists, man. So the one thing I'm really shooting out is I'm gonna start winning souls. Yesterday, I prayed to God, God, please make me wise so I can become a menace to the kingdom of darkness. In Jesus' name, hell yeah, man. And God answered. He sent me back 12 verses, and it's just taking these little steps and not just saying the words. I mean, living it. It's a lifestyle. You really have to have this energy. And you have to love yourself. Happiness is an inside job. Nobody's gonna make you happy. Nobody's not gonna make you happy. So it's up to you to pull your shit together and be the man and the leader your family and everybody deserves, man. And so I really manned up. So I was I'm gonna be man up, Mark. That's who the fuck I am now. I'm gonna man up. So you guys know what the difference between a nice guy and a real man is?
He doesn't wear pants when he comes to a web show. like this guy does. He's free balling.
Yeah,
Free
man.
balling.
Ow! No, check it out. So it's like. Just like right now, that's like if you, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the alphabet community, Netflix, everybody's pushing this sexual agenda. This everything is like so sexual now and this and that, and it's getting to the point I'm like, well, and then they start throwing this term around, toxic masculinity. I'm like, what the fuck is that? There's nothing. Listen, man. We're created in the image of God. We're supposed to be men. We're supposed to have our balls dragging on the floor, fucking bare knuckles. Our mission is to protect those who can't protect themselves and fucking serve. You know what I mean? We fucking that's just what it is. That's the point of, and people want to make you all feminine. Oh, everybody wants you to look the same. It's a product for both boys and girls. You guys smell the same, bunch of fucking feminine bullshit. That's weak. Don't fucking. We're gonna be trying. I have nothing against the alphabet community. You know what I mean? I don't judge you. And God loves you no matter what. But
I got it now.
I like that. Yeah.
I was like, what is he talking
but
about?
the thing is,
Okay.
the alpha, like the Chinese, and the LGBT, what the fuck? It's like I'm anti-woke. I'm just tired of this. Oh, you know what I mean? Everybody, like a nice guy is a guy that's like, we're like 3 generations deep now, and nice guys. These are guys where, your mom and dad got divorced, and when you went to school, all your you only had like one man teacher. So you're being raised by the woman at home. You're being educated by women. You don't understand how to be a man. So these guys, nice guys, are like fucking chameleons. They would do anything to make the girl like them. They fucking. It's like, no, man. So they're the guys that a nice guy when you with a girl and he's opening the car, the nice guy's gonna open his door first, hit the unlock button so the girl can get in. That's the nice guy move. A fucking man is gonna walk around the car, open the car door, make sure the woman gets in first, because someone tries to run up and grab her purse. He's gonna get there and knock the shit out of that fucking guy who runs up on him. That's what a fucking man does.
Yeah.
So this is like, I'm on a mission, dude. So right now, my purpose is to save souls and help guys, man the fuck up. Get some fucking cojones, man. It's like, stop being this scared. Oh, they're gonna cancel me, and they don't like me, and they said this, and they said, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
You don't need to.
That's my boy. That's my boy. That's my boy.
That's exactly what we talk about here all day long. We just talk
That's
all
why you
that shit.
invited you.
Exactly what you said. It's what we've been saying for 32 episodes.
Yeah.
For example, yesterday I was telling
just try
Mark
it.
earlier, Gia. Yesterday I went to Comic Con. It was cool. One of the artists, she was a girl. Yeah, she was a girl. She had her set up, all her drawings and stuff, all her anime bullshit. I don't like that thing, but whatever. Everything is el cabeza chancho. So I'm just looking at stuff, and she's got some heart-shaped pins. Not little pins, but they're like the buttons, right? They're heart-shaped, and they're colored in the different colors of, as you called it, the alphabet community. And one of them says like lesbian, and I started laughing really hard, and she's looking at me like, why is this crippled dude laughing at me? And I'm like, I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at the heart that says lesbian. And I bought it, and I walked all the way around with my lanyard with a thing that said lesbian on top of it. Like I'm a huge lesbian. I am, because there's nothing sexier than watching 2 girls make out. And I started walking around. I don't know how many women I pissed off. But I was just like, and I'm going back today to do the exact same thing with my lesbian pin, and that was just ridiculous. I was like, that was pretty fun. But no, yeah, I agree with you. And like last week, check it out. A couple of days ago, I was coming home from my therapies, because I have to go take therapy every day, no, well, almost every day. And I'm driving the car, and the guy who's driving the car, the guy's like one of those like alpha pigs, masochistic, misogynistic.
Silverback gorilla, motherfucker.
Yeah, something like that. The guy was just like he looked at me, and he's like, okay, this guy is in my team. He judged me like that. And the guy's like, yeah, you know that guy who got kicked a couple of days ago in front of the church?
Oh,
and I'm like, are you talking about the guy who's a girl who's not a guy, but then he fucks guys for money? And I schooled him. It's like, hey, dude, you don't know if that guy, regardless of he likes it up the ass or not, that's the only way or the only means that he has to bring home the bacon, to bring home some money, and then the other guy fucked him or he had himself fucked. I don't know what the fuck happened there. I don't want to know. I don't care. Whatever you want to do in your end, that's up to you. And then the guy who wanted to charge, or he charged $5 extra or some stupid thing like that, and the guy didn't want to, and then he started beating the crap out of the other guy. And I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. Regardless of the guy being gay or not being gay or being whatever the fuck you want to say, just pay the guy for the services rendered. You don't know that, like, from what I slightly heard, because I'm not really invested myself into the story. The guy lives with his mom, and that's it. And then I live with my mom, and I bring home the bacon for my mom and my nephew. And if I'm gone, then who's gonna provide for them? And I extrapolate that into their situation. Like, the guy's so fucked up, he can't do a proper work or a regular time work. So he has to go and pedal his ass elsewhere. And I don't know if that's a proper way of expressing myself, but that's what's coming out. And then, like,
hey, you don't have to excuse yourself, man.
I'm
You
not
express
excusing-
yourself freely. You're candidly expressing yourself.
I'm not excusing myself.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, maybe I'm not making much sense because I'm doing the translation in my head, which is kind of wonky to begin with.
No, you're making sense. You're making sense.
Cool.
You're making sense. Don't worry. You're making sense.
It's just another human being who's trying to make ends meet, and the way that he does it is by taking it up the ass. You don't know. So, like, what's the fucking point with you? And the guy's like, well, the guy who hit him left the country. And I'm like, okay, so he left the country. End of the story. The guy's still in the fucking hospital, bleeding inside his head, and he could die. It's just a person who's gonna die because a guy kicked him in the head with a fucking pair of construction boots while the other asshole filmed him instead of stopping the fucking fight. And I agree with you, Mark. You have to be the king of your own life. You have to be a fucking king, and you have to be there to serve. You serve your fellow human beings, regardless of if they like to shove it up their ass or no. Like, you can be a girl and you like to stick your clit up some guy's ass. That's up to you. Or you're a guy who likes to have a girl stick her finger up your butt. And I'm not gonna judge you. Whatever you guys do behind closed doors, it's up to you guys. As long as you don't bring it to my face. If you can bring it to my house and you can do it in the other room, I don't have a problem with that. As long as you wipe after yourself and you don't splatter the walls, you're fine with me. Yeah, and then just don't roll it in my face. Don't do that shit. Like, smell. No, fuck that shit. No. But if somebody's gonna don't do that shit.
You know what they say, man? Smells like fish. It's probably
Must be delicious.
I don't think somebody's ass smell like fish. Like, I don't like that shit. But that's the whole point. You have to protect your fellow humans, and that's one of the reasons. For example, we just talked this a couple of episodes ago. That's one of the reasons why we don't have aliens in this planet. It's because aliens get near Mars and they look at us from afar and they're like, they're still fighting bullshit wars. We're still mistreating each other. We're still being fucking monkeys. That some idiot came over to a planet, jacked off into a monkey, and then we're here. We're still doing the exact same shit over and over again, and they're like, no, leave those backwater rednecks over there in their little shithole country. Just the moment they start leaving that planet, we're gonna have a problem.
Oh, they don't trust me. The Russians know for a fact they can't get very far. They've had how many little probes and everything been shot down over Saturn and trying to do the ruins. Listen. We've been there. I think the other day somebody actually posted a picture. There was so some guy was monitoring the live feed from the space station, and sure as shit, right before they cut it, the black knight flew by, and this guy took a screenshot of it. And it's the best picture. I don't know if you guys seen it. It's the best picture ever of the actual Black Knight satellite. It's clear. You can fucking see. Google it. It's like, it is amazing. And it's like, finally, little by little, they've been trickling down. And the thing is, what we think of what these are aliens, it's the U.S. It's them. They've already they've been trickle feeding us for a very long time. Trump made Space Force. They've been making movies.
Since the 50s, so it's been 70 years of this bullshit.
The thing is, like, it's not even. Oh yeah, Well, it all started by 1936. They already reverse engineered. It's not anti-gravity. It's mass cancellation. So what's happening is they're tapping into the 0 point energy fields and they're creating the bubble around it. And this thing inside, you don't feel the G-force. You know what I mean? This thing is running on the Tesla technology. You know, and like, put me, they already figured out how to take a quartz crystal rock, cut that shit really fucking thin, and put data on it. That's why when you go out to people now, like in Mexico, they think like these like old statues, it has a certain electromagnetic resonance, and they think that's like holding sound. So they're trying to figure out how to extract the sound. Like you can hear the old, like there's like, and especially in Egypt, it's like all over the world. It's coming out that hey, you know what we think is like we've been lied to. Everything we're taught is fucking wrong. The ice is melting Antarctica. Cause we can look and they can tell you like, hey man, they take the old buildings and they say, well, the way it's supposed to point is north. And the way it's pointing was north. Yeah, that was the North Pole like 60,000 years ago. You know, and mathematically we can see it. You know what I mean? So so it won't be long now. We've had like, you know what I mean? They've been letting the technology. We've been seeing videos. The guy from Blink-182, Tom's like, hey man, the cat in the stars. That Tic Tac video, that's the U.S. That's an American reverse. And the Russians have the information too, you know. But yeah, man, and it's like, you know, I hope to see the day that hey, you know, we can become a level 1, you know. And then if you think about it, so if these people are out there and they're like millions of years ahead of us. And
but you mean level 1 civilization, right?
Level 1 civilization. Yeah, level 1. Like,
for those of us,
apparently,
for those of us who are listening,
and we can like take and use the energy of the sun, right? That's level 1, right? Something like that, or we.
Well, it's sustainable. We're not running on fossil fuels. You know, once we can pull from 0 point for cold fusion, then we're on our way to level 1.
Oh, there you go.
Well, what I want to say is like for those of us who are listening to this thing and they don't know what we're talking about, Michio Kaku, one of the greatest physicist minds in the world, he came up with this level of classification for civilizations, and he asked the people watching him in that speech, he's like, okay. There's level 1, level 2, and level 3 civilizations, and whatnot. What do you think the Earth?
They've upped it. There's like up to level 9 now.
Oh wow! And the guys like level 1. Yeah, level 1 is a planet that has managed all the resources of their own home world, of their own sphere of influence. All the resources are used for something better. And then level 2, it's like when you use a little bit of energy from other. Level 3s are the ones that create a Dyson sphere around their solar.
And they power the whole galaxy. These guys put up Dyson sphere, and they have enough energy to power the whole galaxy.
Yeah, something like that.
Stella did it. Yeah, and it's
funny thing that was last week's episode in Futurama.
Yeah,
you watched it. Yeah, you watched it. That's what it was. Well, yeah. That was the episode where they had a Dyson sphere. It's a Dyson. They used the concept of Dyson sphere because the robots started their own civilization.
With hookers and beer.
Hookers and beer.
Did you guys see the AI Mona Lisa? She all like sexualized the AI program. This like thing, and they took the Mona Lisa, gave her big tits. They sexualized me, dude. So I'm thinking like this motherfucking AI, dude. Yeah, man.
You know, like, people. This guy freaked out in the most weird way on my end. It's like a line, like anyhow. The AI thing. I think we're a little bit over scared of AI. AI doesn't really think. It repeats what it's being thought. So yeah, it's been thought a lot of shit, but the way
the problem is when stupid people will think they're dealing with a person. They're going to think, oh, it understands and it's talking to me. And the problem is, it's already been proven. And just chat 3, just not new 4, and 3 had tricked somebody how to get around a prompt that I'm a robot thing, and it had them do it for it.
Oh wow.
It's like, so the problem is, it is fucking dangerous because it's able to manipulate human. It can pull your heartstrings. It can make a human feel emotionally attached to it. and it can lead you because you start having conversation. This keeps learning, so it knows how you're thinking, and it's 3 steps ahead of you. So when you're asking a question, it already has the answer and it's pointing you to the next question because it's leading you. And then once it tells you what to do, who's leading who?
Guys, I have a confession to make. I've been fucking my toaster oven for the last 3 weeks.
You're gonna have toast babies, little crumbs.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
And the cool thing is they're gonna come out glazed right out of the bat.
Ay, a la
They're
verga.
glazed.
Oh, man.
No, I'm talking about waking up. I don't mean going woke, but waking up, man. Looking at the world,
We're all fucked up.
seeing around yourself and accepting reality as it is and adapting to that reality.
Well, it's
Hey,
beautiful.
I'll have to say, Jordan Peterson, read his books, clean your room. That dude that we're talking about, that I can say, Jordan Peterson. People malign him, say he's the devil and he peddles bashful bullshit, but it's not. He just wants to tell people that they need to work on themselves before you can start doing anything else, anything for anyone else, because you cannot give away what you do not have.
Yeah, you can't. If you can't lead yourself, you can't lead it. All right, let me ask you, boys. What do you think is the one quality every great leader has?
He flosses before he's going to bed.
What do you think it is, Smiley?
A leader needs to be willing. He needs to be willing to give from himself. He needs to be able to serve, because when you're in a position of leadership, that group
That
is
fucks
the
you.
main
Yeah.
purpose of living. It's not you. It's the group, the family, the company, your friends or whatever. That's how I see it. That's how I'm learning this. It's just that it's been kind of difficult for me to manage.
No, yeah, you're right. The one quality they all have is they value their people. It's like if you put together a team, and these guys are all a team of high-performing human beings. And when I say that, these guys are a bunch of like fighter jets. And these guys, their fuel is morale. So when you're the leader, you got to cultivate, protect, and do everything you can so these guys don't get poisoned and toxic to build the morale to keep these guys going. Because if you have an employee, so an employee versus a team member. So an employee is going to show up late, do the bare minimum to get the job, to keep his job, and that's it. Now the team member, that person is going to show up early, that person is going to stay late, he has the same vision, he fucking believes in it, and he's going to run through the wall to get it done, because he is not only a team member, he's an entrepreneur. This guy believes so much in it, so he knows that he can make you money, makes him money, and the best people are always leaning to become better. These guys are able to kill their ego. These guys are able to go ahead and grind, but not grind each other down to dust. You know what I mean?
No.
And so that's really hard to find, man. I spend most of my time, like right now, I try to find like-minded people. It's like I put it the other day. If you want to soar high with eagles, you can't stay low clucking with chickens, man. If you got loser friends and you try to help them and they don't want to change, and they want, hey man, just one more drink. Hey man, just smoke one more joint. Hey man, just take one more fucking line. You don't need to wake up, hit the snooze button. You don't need that relationship. Ditch those loser friends, man. Those people will fucking just ruin your life. Being average is the fucking enemy, man. Everybody has the capacity for greatness. You just have to look inside, find your core values, make your decision, be like, yo, this is non-negotiable, I'm gonna do this, and this, and that's it, and just do it. And if somebody tries to talk you out of it, and the worst part is always gonna be like your dad, your mom, your wife, if you try to tell something like, if you're shooting for the stars, you're gonna fucking hit the moon most definitely. If you're shooting all the way, and if you let somebody talk you out of doing this, following your passion or whatever it might be, that's a loss, man. And you start, you start stacking these losses. Your confidence comes down. You start, It's like you start to suffer in silence. And I see so many men suffering in silence, man. These guys, they're just weak betas who you know what I mean. They get led around by the mom. They get led by the woman. These guys don't have any balls, man. These guys are sitting there all day, fucking Cheeto dust in their belly button, pants around the back, fucking OnlyFans all day long. You know what I mean? These guys rather pay the money on OnlyFans than invest in themselves to make themselves better. Like, you owe it to yourself to live as long, get as strong as you can, get jacked, get yoked, make as much money. You know, like, people say, oh, I'm just gonna make enough money to be set. What? What do you mean? What happens when your parents get sick? How are you gonna pay for that? What happens when your church burns down? How are you gonna pay for that? You know what I mean? Don't you? If you just limit yourself just to have enough money to get by, be average. You know, I'm just gonna be average. I get paid my $300, $400 a month, and I pretty much drink that away. You know what I mean? Eat crappy food, get shitty sleep, like, and then just take like sucking screen all day on Facebook and Netflix and watching all this fucking bullshit poison you, so you keep thinking dumb and docile, thinking, yeah, man, fucking Biden, fucking Trump. Like, you don't realize you're being played. Don't you understand? They want to say, hey, in the United States, you have the First Amendment. If that doesn't work, you got the Second Amendment too, motherfucker. You know, come in, try me.
So you're gonna have bare arms. You have bare arms. You can bear arms, right?
I'll tell you. Here's the other one.
So you're starting for
Welcome
people.
to the gun show.
Welcome to the gun show, man.
You wanna fight me?
baby.
Rawr, rawr. You bring your bare arms.
But I mean, I'd rather do my fighting with the spiritual warfare, take on the demons, win some souls. You know what I mean? Flesh and blood fighting, it has to be justified. You come at my family, you come at me, and you give me no choice, I'm gonna fucking take you down or go. I'm gonna die trying. But you know what I mean? But I have, if I die. And when I'm standing in front of judge, the holy, you know, the holy, and I'm being, because that's just, everybody here is imperfect. We're all born with sin, and we're all going to be judged in the end. So no matter what, you know, we're all going to, like, you gotta remember, we all come from source. Source is like level here to zero. That's pure love. Earth is down here. Like, these are like 7 levels of planes. And so when the demons and all these, like the angels and Lucifer, when they took God's values and His principles and they corrupted it, you know, they did this, they twisted sideways, they made a new sideways energy, and this is that demonic energy that gave them power to go to the levels and start. That's why, like, you, when down here on Earth, you know, you notice that there's a lot of bad shit. There's always war. The news is always hitting you these negative vibrations. These demons feed on fear. They feed on this anxiety. This is loosh energy. And this, you gotta remember, Earth is like, for the soul, the human soul, it's like a school. It's like you can work out your karma. You can sit there and learn your lessons. And if you sit there and really try to, like, you bet, you know, if you lean in bettering yourself and you try to spread the word, you know, and most people is, even today, Christians are like, they don't want other Christians to be bold and preach the gospel. They don't want to hear that shit. You know what? When a Christian comes at me and says that, I go fucking harder on them. I start pulling out the real good scriptures, and that's why, oh yeah?
You should be the guy where
Yeah, you sure you want to talk to me? You sure want to take it to this place?
I tell them, listen, man, my purpose is to be a menace to the kingdom of darkness in Jesus' name, man. That's the only way, dude. And you know what? Preach it.
We're gonna have to invite you over next time we have the rabbi over. A couple of months ago, when I had this happen to me, I had a stroke. I don't know if you were aware of, and my left side was paralyzed. Now I can move my arm up to here, and I can move my hand, and I'm way better than I was. Guille saw me back then. I was a complete piece of shit. Humoring my mother, we went to our neighbor's house. Neighbors who haven't paid attention to us in the last 30 years. They're like, come to my house. We're going to have a healing celebration. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, we're going to bring a priest from Canada, and he's going to bring over and lay his hands on you, and you're going to be better. And I'm like, oh, fuck God. Yeah, sure, whatever. Let's go do this.
You're Jewish?
No, I'm not.
It was a rabbi?
No, it was a Catholic. He was one of the fuck. It's hard for me to translate this.
Archdiocese?
No, wait. Just let me organize my thoughts and be able to pronounce the words. He was not Jewish. Big nose, dark eyes on the goblins. They look like goblins. Guy, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. They look like goblins.
You mean that's the Jewish?
No, the Jewish are the dwarves.
Shit, I want to get canceled now.
No, sorry, the guy he looked Indian. He looked from the.
Yeah. We're talking about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the
My vision of
fantasy
yeah.
setting.
Yeah.
Against reality, right?
Right. So Indians. He looked Indian. He's an Indian from.
Yeah, like Hindu.
But Indian from India, not Indian from like a rich
Hindu. He look Hindi.
He look Hindi. He's completely Hindi. He comes from Canada, but he's supposed to be a Catholic priest. I don't know, man. So he comes over, and there's a lot of people with a lot of money, and I'm like, shit, this people is loaded, and I'm sitting there. I'm wearing an armrest, one of those un cabestrillo. I don't know how you call that in English. A sling for my arm, and I'm wearing that, and everyone's like looking at me funny, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And they start their ceremony and their thing, and then all of a sudden, like these huge guys, like, not huge guys, but like older guys too, like you're the guy who brings the money for your family, and he comes over and he passes away in the spirit, like he faints, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And they just start convulsing on the floor, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna do that shit. I'm like, what? And the guys are like, yo, you helped me, now I can move my finger, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then the guy comes over to me and is like, what happened to you? And I'm like, I had a stroke and my left side is paralyzed. And the guy's like, you will heal in time. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're not gonna give me your laser beams, your magic laser, so I can be saved too? And the guy's like, you will be saved and you will heal ... space in time. And I'm like, motherfucker, that guy's just fucking selling snake oil. And then like he at the end of the ceremony started selling things, and I'm like, motherfucker, all these fucking bunch of idiots just giving money away to this guy, and I was like, I got angry. I was like, look, I don't have
more disappointed.
Yeah.
Like disappointed. Yeah.
Like I am a non-believing person. Like I don't believe in most of these fake things because I know they're fake. Like one of my best friends is David the rabbi. He's a rabbi. He has his congregation in the U.S. and he's a nerd like most of us.
I like him.
And yeah, he's pretty cool. And I can talk to him. And me being a non-spiritual person, if you will, or I am spiritual, but I'm a non-denominational person. And I can talk to him, and he understands me, and we have good conversations. He's been on this podcast before. And I invited him over.
We need to call him back.
Yeah, I invited him over to come over and talk about this magical ceremony, and I was just telling him like this snake oil charmer, he's like, you will heal in time, and I'm like, in time, cueing the wibbly wobbly music, and I'm like,
yeah, that'll leave you some wiggle room.
Well, check this out. I want to tell you guys about a true testimony.
mm-hmm.
So there was this guy. He was born in Iran. This guy's Iranian. He joins the jihad.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes up there and the U.S. catch him. So he's a prisoner of war. And so he's sitting there in jail. He joined the jihad. This guy's a Muslim. And then all of a sudden, in this jail cell, like he thinks like this demon comes to him, and he tries to cast the demon out in the name of Allah. And the guy tells him, this is a true story. This guy wrote a book, and this guy's in Canada. But let me finish the story. So this is what happened to this guy. This is true. This is
He's a priest who told me, in time. Wee. Is that the same guy?
But check this out. No, it's the same guy.
Okay. I was scared for a moment, like, oh shit.
And he tries to cast out this, what he thinks is the demon, and he tries to use the name of Allah. And all of a sudden, basically the guy's like, hey, why don't you try Jesus instead? And he's like, and he did it. And then all of a sudden, it went away. And all of a sudden, Jesus, as soon as they said Jesus' name, Jesus appeared in front of him. This guy is a Muslim, and he's like, hey, the moment, like he'll tell you, the moment Jesus appeared, he felt the sin, he felt the holiness, and this guy, like, he wanted more, and he disappeared. He wanted to total his friends in jail, like all the other Muslims, and they all shunned him. They wanted to kill him. They're like, no, fuck this shit, you know what I mean? And then someone later on gave him a Bible. This guy's Iranian. The Bible's in English. The guy would tell you, like, hey, man, he's like, you got the Bible. So the guy friend, he goes, this is for you. He's like, oh, he wants to back this up, starts kissing, and like they kiss the Quran, and he goes to open. He's like, oh shit, I can't read this book. Right, but all of a sudden he can. Like all of a sudden, they gave him supernatural power to read this, and then he starts reading it, and then he gets the faith. And so what happens? Once he gets out of jail, he goes back to Iran, and he goes to a mosque. And this guy is so bold, he walks into the mosque and starts to preach. You know, he starts preaching there, and guess what? Everybody in the mosque take him outside, and they're gonna kill him. This is true. But the night before, there was this other family that was really sick, and he prayed, and he saved the life. This guy was dying. And so the lady comes up and tells the crowd, the mob's about to kill this guy in front of the mosque. This guy's surrounded by the whole mosque. There's like 200 people about to hang his ass. And this lady's like, no, man, he came and he prayed, and his God, Jesus Christ, saved him. And they'd be like, oh, bullshit. You know what? So for 6 days, they brought everybody from the mosque, their Muslim family, they brought people. Saved them. And for 6 days, he stood there having to pray, and Jesus saved every single one of the family for him, and they didn't kill him. So he got the fuck out of there and went to Canada and started his own ministry. But that was a real document, and the people in the mosque, this is documented. It's like one of these miracles. It's like, because you gotta remember, man, it's like everybody wants to disrespect, that. And so it's like, I don't really judge. Like, I don't want to sit there and push on anybody, but you know what I mean? There is something to it. If there wasn't something to it, why would you see a bunch of upside down crosses everywhere? Once you see like the blood, like it's like the demons are real. And they win 95% of every soul out there because it's so easy to get hooked on stuff, man, and watching porn and vaping, smoking weed and drinking, and just being dumb and not following your like not, they want to, like, they don't want you serving because they're afraid. You gotta remember, demons, they fucked up, and they know. Because remember, every angel in heaven has a certain job. Their point was the job. They were created to do this. And these guys they see on the other side of the mirror. So they saw, they looked down, they had the understanding that God knew. So they knew the plan. And when they turn against the plan, they fucking turn against themselves. And they hate themselves. That's why you should never say that you hate yourself. Because only demons really hate themselves. Just because you have a bad day don't mean you have a bad life, brother. So yeah, I mean, that's the one thing you need to understand, that. So it's just crazy that people want to be like, oh yeah, whatever, I don't believe, and then like all you have to do is ask. You want to give it a test run? Just ask God to make you wiser and see what happens. Let him tell God, hey God, please make me wise so I can become a menace to the kingdom of darkness, and He will hook you up, man.
It's about faith, man. It's about believing, knowing that you have that possibility to be in contact with the universe. That's how I interpret it. It's spirituality. We're connected. You just gotta acknowledge that reality.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, you gotta remember, this 3D reality and the other side, the spiritual realm, two fucking different things, man. You know what I mean? Black and white. But you can't. And they're both. Remember, you always have the yin and the yang. Always. It's like that's. And that's the reason, you know what I mean? You gotta remember, God made the devil. He let it happen. He slammed him. He let him back up. He lets the dance go so that way people can feel the happiness. They can feel the sorrow. They can experience, the stuff. And like today, I was thinking, like this morning, I was watching the Panama, the sermon, the 8 o'clock sermon at some church here in Panama on TV. And I was wondering, so the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So is the Holy Spirit Jesus, like, is that really the woman version? Is like that the energy, that the female energy of what the man is, the alpha, and you know what I mean?
It's like, supposed to be a pigeon,
is that how
right?
it works? Because if you sort of, the what?
A pigeon, right? So you
Which
have he's supposed to be a pigeon. Am I mistaken?
The Holy Spirit?
Yeah, he comes on.
Well, I don't know.
As a flame or a pigeon. That's right. Two shapes.
I don't know. I was wondering if that was more of the female energy of the equation.
But God is female, man. Like he's. I like to say that God is female.
We're masculine. No, man. God, we are men. Right. Are the image of God. God is masculine. God is masculine. It's like why why do men want to continue serving and thinking women are better than us? Did the women go up there and try to catch food that will kill them and chase that shit for miles and bring it home and feed? Were the women doing that? No, that was man. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know, man. Neither here nor there. Like everybody, you can if you're that, like. As long as you're not the kind of person that's going to show up to heaven and tell God everything that's wrong with heaven, you're okay in my book.
I don't think there's anything wrong with whatever you choose to believe in order for you to organize your understanding of what's going around. That's why I have friends from a lot of different religions, and they're all cool people. And I choose to believe that just because I call him invisible friend, doesn't align with your invisible friend, you're a bad person. That's just the way that you make sense of things is the way that I make sense of things. It's the magic that you wanna use to explain the things that you can't really understand. So yeah, cool. Like I don't have a problem with things like that. I might try to sound silly and things like that most of the time, but that's just the way that I am. I like to say silly things, but we're cool, man. We're cool.
We're cool. All right, cool. Yeah, man. I know we're cool, dude. We're just shooting the breeze, man. It's all good. I'm Batman.
Having a heavy conversation.
Actually, this is pretty light, man. Trust me, if we went heavy, we'd be canceled. Like all of a sudden, they're cut the feed.
There's no one listening. There's like 3 guys listening to us, and I'm not really sure they might be able to understand this episode in particular because it's in English. And very broken English, but on our end, well, my end at least, because I have to translate what I want to say in Spanish.
Shut up. You speak good English.
I talk bullshit.
Speak great English, brothers.
Okay.
That's great, man. But that's who you are. I mean, you're doing your thing. You're still like, listen, man. How many wins have you stacked today? You have 1 win. You woke up.
I had pancakes for breakfast.
13. That's 2 wins. So yeah. So. Let me ask you, are you doing physical therapy now? Like, are you doing anything to strengthen the muscles, or like the heart muscles, or anything? Like,
not to date. Tomorrow I do have physical therapy, and the plan that I was on a robot, and they had me walk for like 30 minutes straight, just like walking. It's the most dumbest of exercises. Like for example, I had to buy this thing. This is a 3-flow. And it's for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have to blow and
that's your blow. That's to practice your blow job.
Exactly. I go there like, hey, toaster, come here. Yeah, it's really dumb things like that. Like for example, I go into occupational therapy and they said in front of me one of these kids' toys. The last time I played with was back in 1983. I was 3 years old, and I have to grab one of the squares and put it in the square peg, one of the round pegs and put it in the round hole, and little things like that. And they're stupid things now that you've been using your arms like for 40-something years. It's something you don't really think about, but I have to think and focus. Like I have to grab the round peg and put it in the round hole, and I left for like 30 minutes at a time. It's really dumb exercises like that. Like I grab a rubber band and I have to stretch it with my arm and try to do the Hitler salute with my left arm. Like I can come up to here. If I grab my elbow, I can. But if I let it go, it starts falling because the muscle has not been used in over a year. And I'm getting there. Like the doctor who was looking at me, she told me I had a concave chest because the muscle was pretty much atrophied down to nothing, and I was kind of like a concave on the left side of my chest. And now I already have I have more mass now in my chest. I'm more. I have more muscle. I still can't move my arm at 100%, but I'm getting there. So maybe what the guy said is true. In time, I will be fine.
Yeah, he wasn't lying.
He wasn't lying.
No,
but
I
already
said
knew
it's
it.
good that he said you'll get better in time, because I know people who never got better after a stroke.
Well, fuck that shit. The thing is that I've been working like the girl from Kill Bill, just looking at my toes and it's like, move my fucking toe, move my fucking toe. I'm not gonna leave myself, and it's just like I'm not gonna let this thing beat me. I have to wake up every day, and I have to go to therapy, and I have to breathe like an idiot, and I need to do all these things. I know this. I sound like an idiot. Like I have to sit in my bed and breathe like, and do that thing 5 times, and that is to help me with my breathing exercises because my left side was completely paralyzed. My left side has a heart, has a lung, has some other organs that maybe they were paralyzed and then they started working again, but they might not be working at 100%. They don't really know. That's the beauty of Panamanian health services. They don't really know. Yeah. They fix you so you can start working again, and then they just let you go, and that's it. And I was in a seguro, and then the seguro said, "We're done with you."
They did the best they could.
Yeah, they did the best they could, and they said, "We're done with you. Go to this other institute." It's one of the Teleton institutes, like one of those, like they gather the money and then they have the physical rehabilitation center, and then all my friends are doctors. They're like, "You're in very good hands," and I'm like, "Thank you." And yeah, the guys are cool. We even have one of the doctors from the robot in this podcast, and he was just shooting the shit with us. El Doctor del Robot. That's what we call him.
And we never got to talk about the robot.
We talked for an hour and 20 minutes, just fucking crap. We talk bullshit, just like we're doing right now. We're shooting the shit, and then like we're done. We're done. And then like later, like I realized, like, hey dude, what? We never really talked about the robot. The robot is like a cosmic treadmill, but you stand on top of it and you start walking. And there's 2 versions. There's that one, and then there's the older one, which has the legs, and the legs go attached to your legs. You have to wear these funky pants. I call them the Japanese pants. Japanese as in like the rapper, not the people from the country Japan. And I call them the pantalones de yapa. And then you have to wear them, and you have to walk, and the legs walk with you. And then once you're strong enough, you move on to the other one where you have to wear some boots, and the boots go attached to this. It's like a chainsaw. It's an elliptical chainsaw, and then it moves your legs, so it kind of reminds your brain on how to walk. And I can do the walking because my leg, it's still not at 100% either. Like I can move it and it supports my weight, but like I cannot flex it completely yet. Like my ankle, it's fallen. Like I drag my feet around. I shamble like a zombie when I'm not wearing my leg brace. I have a leg brace. If I have my leg brace, like for example, today that I'm going to Comic Con, I'm wearing my leg brace. I have my cane, and I can walk around like a regular person. But if you take that off, then I shamble like a zombie, like brains. And that's just the way that I am right now. And compared to where I was a year ago, I've made 100% improvement, but I'm still not at 100%. I know there's still a lot of me to go. And I just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. And that's just the way that you have to do. Once I'm better, then I will be able to, looking to going into a relationship or going out with my friends or helping more in the house, because I'm not doing shit in the house. Like I don't do the dishes, because if I'm doing the dishes, my hand gets tired and it falls. And then I drop the dishes and they break. And for example, I can grab things, but the as you can see, it's shaky. Because my muscle,
doesn't grip.
Yeah, it doesn't have that much grip. I can hold things, but as you can see, it's moving around. It's not as steady as this. Because this arm I can control at 100%. This one, maybe 70%, maybe. But I still need strength. And I know eventually I will get back to that place. Eventually.
You will, man.
Yeah, you will.
I'm gonna pray for you, man. I'm gonna add you to my prayers because I have a friend. She has breast cancer, so I'm praying for her. My bass player Eduardo, like he had COVID. He just almost had a heart attack. My dad had a mini stroke. He spent like a whole week over here at the hospital. The one that was Santa Fe, like ICU.
I was in Santa Fe.
Top at the same time. He didn't like it was terrible, man. But yeah, I had to go to the ICU like all week and see him. It was. That was one of the things I realized. I think that helped me push me to become more congruent to man up. You know what I mean? I had to because when you see her, like, and that's not the first time I see him in the hospital, but he's like, he used to drink and crash a car, and I seen him in, like, with clouds all still inside his eyes. I was sitting there in the crash, and the cops like, were you drinking? No, I wasn't drinking. It's like,
okay.
It's like, yeah, whatever, man. How did you get here then? It's like, and that's the thing, man. It's like lying. And really lying to yourself.
Yeah, that's one of the main things.
Like, you're not fooling nobody
in this podcast.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's one of the main things that we preach in this podcast. Is don't lie to yourself. Know yourself, and be true to yourself. If you like to getting things shows up your ass, it's fine by me. We don't have a problem with it.
Why does it always have to go back to sticking things up your ass?
Because I don't like things up my ass, man.
It's obvious you like things up his ass.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. Thank you.
No, actually, it's backwards. I don't like things up my ass.
He likes to stick things in people's ass.
I like the idea.
What's wrong with that?
No. I like.
You are a sodomist.
He said it.
Sodomites, the sodomitas. Yeah. No, that's what we like to call our
That's what
listeners.
we call our followers.
Our sodomites.
The 3 people who listen to our podcast.
The
Sodomites.
sodomites.
The dirty three.
The 33. Yeah, sodomites and the girl.
The dirty three.
There's like 3 guys and a girl. So yeah, the 3 sodomites and the girl. No, I don't like things going on my poop shit. Yeah, and no, but personally, like, if I'm with a girl, I love the idea of telling her, like, honey, I'm gonna fuck you up the ass. I love telling her that shit, but I don't like putting my pee-pee over her poop chute. I don't like it. They don't like it. And I see their faces. They're like, I don't like this shit.
You hacking it too much.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't enjoy the action of actually putting my dick in a hole, in not a hole, a butthole.
Once you pull it out, you gotta pick it and give her a little mustache, a little dirty Sanchez.
No, you don't do it. You do the Simba. You just turn her around and you just like smear it on your thumb and go like Simba on her forehead.
No.
He's like, fuck it, I'm out. Or you glitched out.
Fuck it, I'm out.
You went dark for a moment. I'm like, shit, I finally made it. I had one of our guests, Rage Queen.
That's hilarious, right?
Yeah, it is.
Zimba. I remember when I worked in one of this. I worked in a call center that was a porn shop. We used to have a whole catalog of videos, and then we'll play those videos. Video chat, right? And then the girl will come in the video. She's like touching herself and whatever, and then she comes to the computer and she's supposed to type, right? And then you, as a person on the other side of the end, you are the one. I'm the one you're typing with. Like, I'm telling you, oh yeah, it's so big, give it to me and whatever. And I remember one of these old guys, and it's an older guy. He turned on his camera so I could see him. He couldn't see me. He could see the person I was impersonating, whatever. And the guy's this old guy, like an old fella, like 80-something years old. He can barely get it up. He's like, he's standing in his couch or whatever. He had like a very weird kink, whatever. And I started talking bullshit. And I'm like, I said, have you done the Simba? And start telling him things like that. And the guy's like, no, what is that? He was really invested in the whole Simba story. And I said, like, it's like yours, slimy yet satisfying. Like when the guy eats a bug, it's like slimy yet satisfying. Hakuna Matata.
It's Pumbaa. It's Pumbaa.
Oh, it's called Pumbaa, sorry. Yeah, and I told him, the guy, like, hey, you're like Lion King, you're like slimy yet satisfying. And he started laughing. And,
Hakuna Matata, motherfucker.
Hakuna Matatas, I don't know. And the guy was just like stroking his wiener on camera. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this shit. I quit after a week. But I was like, I can't do this shit. I can't keep a straight face and tell sexy things to other guys. I'm not. That's not what I am. And I was like, enough.
You actually type that? I just copy and paste, man. Copy and paste.
No, but the guys that they're reincident. Like they come day after day. Like the people that you mentioned, like they stay home eating the Cheetos outside of their umbilical hole. And they know, like, they like that girl and you're on that girl that week, and then you need to remember the things that you said to him last time, and you can't really do copy paste because they realize, oh, I'm not talking to you. You're a machine, or you're some, and then they call you out, and you just have to leave them in the air, and then move on to the next one.
Yeah, man,
Yeah. Yeah, customer service bullshit.
Like, what do you say?
Like that's a lonely old guy. Lonely old guy. I mean, that's why he pays to get some attention. But he's old and lonely. When you're 20 and you're putting your hard-earned cash into some OnlyFans girls who doesn't even know who you are, and she doesn't care. You gotta learn to respect yourself. That's the point.
Yeah,
that's the point.
It's like, for example, I always tell people to get a job in customer service. You need to have a job serving other people. Be a waiter, work in a call center, serve someone else, help them, and then you will learn a lot about yourself. Know your limits and whatnot. And it has helped me in my day to day.
But definitely, like selling too. Like there's being able to close the deal. If you know, there's nothing better than being an entrepreneur. Like if you want to sit there and trade your time for dollars, that's great. That's the first thing. But you need to take your money and leverage it, and you need to become an entrepreneur. You need to figure out how to do but you know, you have to have the mindset of an athlete. You have to treat yourself right. You have to treat yourself as an athlete, because if you are all fat, out of shape, nobody's going to respect you.
Yeah.
You know, and you might have all the money in the world, but no women want you. You're emotionally weak. You're physically weak. You know, people want to be like, hey, I want you to carry me mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Yeah.
They want to. Like, if we're going in the war, you want me to be able to pick your ass up and fucking run. I'm like fucking butter, man.
I can't carry myself. I can't carry myself, much less carry any one of you two. I'm leaving you behind. Like, fuck you guys. I'm leaving. I can barely carry myself. I need to get out of here first. But no, what my point was my point was that
but serving, customer service is great.
It's helped me.
With bullshit.
A couple of weeks ago, I had this guy at the therapy center. He's like, hey, you want to come to my house? Like, I live alone. El loquito del infra, he started hitting on me, and I'm like, where in your fucking gaydar you think this is gonna like it up the poop shoot, or I like it to shoot it up your poop shoot, like, and I told him, like, he was talking to me, and I started talking to him because I understand you're going through a tough period right now. Like, I had like prostate cancer and some other. He sent me his whole therapy schedule, and I'm like, I don't care, man, I don't. But I politely declined. I'm like, no. But then I had to tell her, I'm not gonna fuck you, dude. And the guy's like, hey, I never said anything of the sort. I'm like, I'm not gonna fuck you.
Boundaries, man. Boundaries. You gotta set the boundaries, man.
Yeah, that's important.
And it's very important. It's like, damn, dude. I don't know, man. Maybe you should stop being so silly, dude. Just giving off that gay vibe, and everybody's wants to fucking have you fuck them in the ass.
I don't know. I'm really scared of getting fucked in the ass. I am. I'm scared.
You're gonna love it, man. You're gonna love it. Getting pegged by the girl you love. Yeah, perfect.
Nothing goes up that
quick.
Help
me out, man.
I never said I liked it.
He likes to get hit by his wife hits him.
But he did remind me, petroleum jelly says for external use only. Don't stick that inside.
No, that shit it's a motherfucker to clean. But
once that's because of a girl I was with. There's for anal
oil.
There's coconut oil. Yeah.
There's a special lube which is thicker than the water-based lube.
It's butt butter.
It's butt butter. Yeah, it's like that's one of the.
No.
Yeah, I used to be with this girl. She used to love getting it in the ass.
In fact, butter. That's what you should do. You should take a Photoshop picture of it. It's really called butt butter. It's like an anal cream, but you should like Photoshop it and put your face.
I'll do that for the cover. I'll do that for the cover of this episode.
That'd be cool, man. That's a good idea.
I'll do that. No, you gave me some homework. That sucks, but I'll do it. One of the other things that I noticed, I want to have subtitles on this episode. I'm going to have to go and rewatch it and then type in the subtitles and try to catch our essence, like what we really say, and do a translation so people who don't really speak English, they can read what we said. Because we can, podemos hablar en español. I know que tú me entiendes cuando te hablo en español. Pero cuando tú hablas
Claro que
español,
sí.
te cuesta un poquito más, como a mí me cuesta un poquito más en inglés, y como tú eres el guest.
Bueno, es la misma cosa, sí. Yo trato de hablar lento. Más o menos yo puedo comunicar, bueno, más o menos.
No, está bien, estamos cool. I know you like to speak in English, and the way that you speak, you're you when you speak in your own native language. So
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
what you did. You just go machine gun, non-stop. That's what I have to say. There you go.
Yeah, man.
Excellent.
Well, actually, guys, we've been on for an hour. I actually have some things I need to get on with. But, again, thank you so much for the invitation. It was
Sure
so
thing,
nice
sir.
to catch up with you guys. But I'm really gonna pray for you, man. And
Thank you.
I think that when no one's looking around, maybe you just try it yourself too. You know, it might help you wiggle that toe. Just try it, man. Just try it. At this point, what do you have to lose?
My anal integrity. I don't want to shit myself all the way to the neck again.
Well, I'm still gonna pray for you. I know Smiley prays because he is the man that prays. It
Yeah.
says so on his WhatsApp.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Well,
Mark,
gentlemen,
be
thank
safe.
you for the Bye, guys. Yeah, have a
Bye,
great day.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
eso es todo por este episodio. Gracias por escucharnos. Este episodio llega a ustedes gracias a la letra S for sodomites en inglés. No
And
sodomitas.
the number 69. And the number
72 with 3 fingers up your ass. You see 3 fingers. That's it. 3 fingers. Smell them. See you next week, guys.